His Excellency Ambassador Raouf Saad, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Your Excellency Ambassador Saad, hello?
Yes, I'm
Yes,
hearing.
Your Excellency, we were just speaking about,
Yes.
yes, we were just speaking about the Memorandum of Understandings and the signing of agreements in several fields. Among them is the field of education, heritage, transportation, aviation, and other
Yes.
fields.
Yes.
Yes.
I was talking about new areas
Yes.
that maybe this visit would lead us to invest in cooperation, such as as I said, the Tukum special economic zone, and we have the Suez economic zone. We have progressed and huge experiences, and I think we might consider coordination and exchanging experience, expertise in terms of investment, trade, logistics, services. So it is, two similar zones that they are very special in their characteristics. Second is that, we have also developed considerable experience in new contemporary areas like digitalization, and IT, so on and so forth. And I think Oman would very much appreciate, that we initiate cooperation in these areas because they are very much in need of such an experience, and as well as we can benefit from their experience in this area. Third, which is one of the most important areas of the world today, is climate change. That Egypt held in past November last year, the COP27 on climate change. And this is becoming an area that is no longer a simple problem of pollution. It has become a threatening, problems for the whole world, and it involves, commitments, obligations, and continuous efforts in order to have resilience against this kind of a very serious phenomena. And I think Egypt has already developed strategic files, documents, and regard of climate change and environment. And we have this experience is available for Oman and other countries. But I think Oman would very much appreciate getting, involved in benefiting from Egypt's experience and in these areas, as well as in biodiversity. I mean, Egypt has become is occupying a prominent role in this area, and I believe we have to open the door for cooperation in this regard. That would help both the countries as well as the whole world in general.
Yes, Your Excellency, Ambassador Saad, also in the field of investment, Egypt, since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to office, have established national mega projects and a large number of projects, and is aiming to attracting investments to Egypt. What is the kind of cooperation between Egypt and the Sultanate of Oman in the field of trade and investment? And as we all know that Egypt have for several years have established several mega projects in the Sultanate of Oman.
Well, let's be clear about this. If you look at the volume of trade between the two countries, you find that they are far below the potentialities of cooperation in terms of trade, investment, and projects. Right? As you correctly said that we have established huge mega projects. I mean, what is happening in Egypt is not just projects. I see it as a rebuilding of the country in terms of investment, infrastructure, and building big mega projects, particularly in areas, which was another area that we should look forward and cooperating. It is new and renewable sources of energy. For example, you have the largest solar energy plant in the Middle East and in Africa, and this is an experience that should be of benefit for Oman and other countries, and particularly in fishing, for example. I mean, we have one of the largest fishing plants as well and Ismailia and other areas. And the fishing is very important, for Oman. So, I mean, we have no problem referring to the number and the quality of mega projects. However, I think it's very important that that the development that has taken place more recently by establishing the Supreme Council for Investment, headed by His Excellency President Sisi, is the core of how to activate, a real cooperation in terms of attracting investments. Because one of the problems that impede investments are the procedures and the bureaucracy routine and the impediments for investments. And I think the resulting in the President Sisi to have this council and heading himself personally this council is the key to attracting investments from all over the world, and that would be very much encouraging for Oman to bring investments, either in present projects or in having joint ventures, because they have their own interests, they have their own requirements, they have their own needs, they have their own experience, as well as we have the same. So I think the situation for investment, provided that this success of the rules that will be applied by the Supreme Council for Investment will be, the real entry to promoting and attracting investments from Oman and other parts of the world.
Yes, so Your Excellency Ambassador Saad, also, how do you evaluate the strategic historical relations binding the two countries through which one of them and the visit by the Sultan of Oman this time is going to boost this historical and strategic relations?
Well, strategic relations, are strong enough, and we have the basis. Old relations have started, since the Oman was even a bigger country than that. Sultan today is not the same. It had Zanzibar before and other parts of this area, and as well as Egypt, is one of the oldest, if not the oldest country in the world. So this area is quite attractive and interesting for cooperation, and I think we have institutes, we have the museums that provides not only the visits for tourists, but we have museums and institutes for the Islamic, the Coptic, and even we have Jewish synagogues. I mean, we have enough of potentials for cooperation in history, and I think that should be linked with the cooperation in education, because that could be injected in the syllabuses of the two countries, and we have to activate and even promote further, the cooperation of exchanging visits, exchanging kind of working sessions, conferences, meetings in this area, in order to see how that we exchange benefit of each country's history and having a better understanding, a deeper knowledge of both histories, and reflect that, in terms of maybe joint ventures, in terms that would link the histories of the two countries.
Yes, Your Excellency Ambassador Saad, now Egypt is witnessing a great leap in the field of renewable energy and green hydrogen. So yes. After this visit, how do you view the future of the Egyptian-Omani cooperation in these fields?
Well, I think I partly answered to this question when I talked about the new and renewable, but yes, you are right in that, because, well, it's that what we should remember, that Egypt has become, that most recently has become the first country in the Middle East and Africa to produce green hydrogen. And green hydrogen and renewable energy as well as, and I refer to solar energy, for example, and Bamban, whatever, they are not just ordinary projects, but they are very much related to building a different future. We should remember that there is a universal acknowledgement that 2030 should be 50% carbon neutrality, and in 2050 should be 100% carbon neutrality. And this cannot be achieved unless you produce, alternatives for fossil oils. So when Egypt, achieved this kind of progress in terms of green hydrogen, new and renewable sources of energy, like wind energy, like solar energy, all other areas of new and renewable energy, nuclear energy. We have been aware very much that the future is coming on a high speed. And it's very important that we have to move as well as with a higher speed in order to abort, if you want, the very threatening dangers of climate change. So they have to develop, new renewable. And I think in these areas, Egypt has a kind of undisputed, in the region, undisputed experience and progress in these areas. And I would submit that, that this area is very much required, needed by Oman, and with a high degree of trust and confidence in Egypt's, experience and expertise in these areas. And I think, if you have even a short list of the areas where cooperation could even consolidated or initiated, you'll find that short list is not enough. We need a very long list.
Yes, Your Excellency Ambassador Saad, also, how would the visit of the Omani Sultan help in boosting the joint action between the two countries towards the regional, joint action towards regional and international issues of common concern?
That's a good question, I have to tell you, because, Oman, as well as Egypt, are recognized as countries who have a very balanced foreign policy, and if that is well known to us, and in the case of Egypt, maybe more information should be revealed regarding, Oman foreign policy. For example, I'll give you one case. For example, look at Oman's relation with the whole neighboring countries, whether Arab or non-Arab countries. You'll find that it's always balanced and is being run by wisdom and deep consideration and appreciation of the other. We should remember, for example, that, with the kind of a very quiet approach of foreign policy of Oman, it was Oman who prepared for opening the negotiations between the Western countries and Iran on the nuclear file. And this has been run rather discreetly for almost 2 years till it was, launched. So, for example, with the relations between Oman and Iran and Turkey and all other countries, you'll find the same, Egypt with maybe on a little bit larger scale, due to Egypt's role, its volume, its magnitude, its weight. So, the similarities and the respect, the mutual respect is well established in our relations, and particularly in terms of foreign policy.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Your Excellency Ambassador Raouf Saad, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and I'm going to be back with you.
Egypt opens up to the world. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi meets with world leaders.
أعبر لكم عن خالص الشكر والتقدير على حفاوة الاستقبال وكرم الضيافة.
Reaffirming Egypt's